Network is powered statewide by the insurance adjusters at Brown O'Haver. Fire, wind, theft, or tornado, we can help. Call 405-735-5510. It's time for the Steelman and Thune at noon with Mike Steely and Parker Thune. Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino call-in line at 405-329-9000. Text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings Studios, here's Mike Steely and Parker Thune.
All right, everybody, how we doing? Welcome in. It is the Thursday edition. We are here in the Buffalo Wild Wings Studios. Appreciate everybody checking us out today. Appreciate it. 405-651-3439 on our Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line as always. And yes, we are on YouTube now. Just go to YouTube and search for KREF Sports. And then once you get to our homepage, click on live, and you will find us there. We started doing this this week.
Steely loves it.
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it.
He loves being in front of a camera.
Later today, I'll also be cooking somebody's ass on Twitter. Just you wait. Just you wait. So, Parker, how we doing? How you feeling? Good?
I feel great, Steely.
I need to get over on my my mark over here. My bad. Thank you.
I have no complaints whatsoever on this Thursday, except that I came to the office expecting brown bag for lunch.
Yeah.
Only to find out that brown bag lunch has been pushed back to tomorrow.
Well, you've got something to look forward to tomorrow then,
I guess,
right?
but now I didn't eat lunch before I got on air. So now if I get hangry by the 1 o'clock hour, you know why.
All right, good to have you with us again today, and we got a lot of things to talk about. We're going to talk Sooner softball to get started, and our poll question today is about Oklahoma softball. Now, we know the Sooners were third in the rankings, the SEC preseason rankings and the national rankings. Texas 1, Florida 2, Oklahoma number 3. Now, Patty Gasso, Queen Patty, 8 national championships, 4 in a row. They just had the 4-peat last year, 6 of the last 8. You know they're going to be in the mix because Patty Gasso is the coach and she brings in excellent players. But you lose Jada Coleman, you lose that great senior class, Tiare Jennings, Kinsey Hansen, Riley Boone, Nicole May. You lose other big-time contributors, Elisa Brito, Kelly Maxwell, obviously from last year, Alina Torres, players like that. So there are 14 newcomers on the Sooner softball roster. Some good quality transfers and some really highly touted freshmen like Tia Malloy and others. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But the Sooners start today out in San Diego as they
Did you
take
just do a half Howard voice there?
They start out here. Yeah, Howard once said, "Well, when we go play San Diego." So he always called it San Diego. They were playing San Diego State. But they are playing in San Diego at San Diego State softball complex. Cal State Northridge is up first at 5:30. That'll be on Soonersports.com. And then the San Diego State game tonight at 8 o'clock, and that'll be on the Mountain West Network. Now, what I hear is that is an app. So rush to your phone right now and go grab the Mountain West app.
Unbelievable. This is one of the issues, one of the primary issues facing society today, Steely. Everything is an app. Everything.
You're starting to sound more like me.
I know.
I love it.
You've rubbed off on me. We've been working together for 3.5 years now, and the Steely influence is certainly something that's becoming more and more ingrained into my character. But you've got to have a zillion subscriptions these days just to be able to tune into things. When I was growing up, life was so much simpler because you had a cable package. I didn't even grow up with a cable package, to be clear. All we had was an antenna. We would get the regional affiliates, and that would be it. But, you go over to a friend's house or something or hang out with the relatives on Thanksgiving. They'd have a cable package, and everything would be right there with a couple clicks of a button. You could watch anything. These days, you got to navigate between apps on your smart TV and log in and purchase access in some cases, or select the premium package. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Ladies and gentlemen, he just aged a decade with that comment, and I, for one, love it. So I remember when we first got cable, because cable came to Norman way back when in the Stagecoach days, and we were on the east side of Norman. The west side, got the cable first, and we kept hearing about this great television setup that you could get, cable TV. And it finally came to our side of town, and we're thinking, man, we are going to have so many viewing options, we will never get bored with television ever. Because we had like 36 channels. You'll never get tired of anything. You'll always have something to watch. And then within like a year, there's nothing wrong. And now you have 7 million channels, and you're still thinking, man, is there another series out there I can watch? Something that I can put on my list or in the bullpen or whatever.
Are you out of series?
We just started The Night Agent season 2.
Okay.
But we've been out of we always try and have one warming up in the bullpen, so to speak. You want your starter. If you can find one that can go like a complete like extra innings, like 6 or 7 seasons, that'll keep you going for maybe 3 months, right? But you always want one warming up in the bullpen once you get into the last season.
We just started The Mentalist. You remember that show?
Yeah, it was an old CBS show, right?
That's right.
Pretty good.
Fantastic so far. I like it a lot.
I may have to check that one out then. All right. By the way, I forgot to put in, and now this is without copyrighted anything, so it's, I normally put a little more music in here, but man, this is an old man's really hip happening softball opener that is going to get you fired up, folks. Really fired up.
Patty freaking
gas.
O S the
damn goat.
Let's get this mother crunk! Yeah!
Let's go, baby boomer!
Find you somebody that loves you like Steely loves using the AI voices. Just please don't find you someone that abuses you the way that Steely abuses the AI voices.
Let's get this mother crunk, man. That's the theme for today. Let's get this mother crunk. You want to? What is crunk? That's like really excited, right? Crunk is really excited.
That feels like one of those terms that's almost obsolete. Like, do you hear people saying crunk anymore?
No, that's part of the appeal of that cool open is that's like 25 years old now, I think. Old man, white guy, about to get crunk. It doesn't get any better than this, right? It really doesn't. But our poll question today on YouTube is, should OU softball be looked at as the team to beat in 2025, despite being ranked 3rd in the country in the preseason and, of course, in the SEC, because Texas won, Florida 2, and Oklahoma number 3. So what do you guys think? Vote on our poll, yes or no. Should the Sooner softball team be looked at still as the team to beat in 2025, despite being ranked 3rd in the preseason? By the way, and we're going to hear from Hannah Core here in a second, Chet Holmgren is back for the Oklahoma City Thunder tomorrow night. You've probably seen some of the practice video that came out within the last week and a half. And you're thinking, well, maybe March for Chet, maybe mid-March. He's out there. It doesn't look like he's maybe, running 100% or giving 100%. But he's back tomorrow night against Toronto. So that's awesome news. Missed 39 games. You have 33 games left. Coming back basically from, the iliac wing or whatever they described it as. I've never had – do they have those at Buffalo Wild Wings, iliac wings? Probably not. But basically it was a broken pelvis, right? And we haven't seen Oklahoma City with their full complement all year long. Oklahoma City is 34-4 when they have had either Chet or Ihart in the lineup without one of those guys in the lineup. Oklahoma City is 6-5. So this is huge for Oklahoma City, and you want to have time to mesh those guys. Chet, in that lineup where he'll play 4. Oklahoma City will have 39 games left to try and get in the regular season to try and get that chemistry working. So that's big. So we'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit. But Brandon Rahbar will join us at 1:20 to talk about that huge news for Thunder fans and the NBA, which we learned of this morning. All right, but let's hear from Hannah Core. We had her here in the Buffalo Wild Wings studios the other day, courtesy of our friends at OneOklahoma.com. Contribute if you can. They do a great job. And here's what Hannah said about the new look 2025 Sooners.
We're going to be scrappy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a new look of what OU softball is, and it won't be a bunch of home runs, but we're going to be really fast and really gritty, and we have a lot of fight. And, I feel like we're all very excited just because it's just so new. So I'm excited to bring it out on the field and let everyone else see what we've been doing.
I tell you, it sounds like these ladies need to hit the weight room if they talking about not a lot of home runs.
Well, you lost so much power when you think about Kinsey and
Tiare Jennings.
Tiare Jennings, Jada, Elisa Brito. A lot of home run power. There's no doubt. But again, 5:30 today for the OU women. They open up against Cal State Northridge in San Diego. And that first game at 5:30 will be on Soonersports.com/watch. Plank talked about it this morning. It's going to be a one-camera setup, obviously behind the plate. They're going to try and get Plank's call also piped in with the video. So I imagine it might be like a AA level. Plank will be major league, but the rest of it might rise to the AAA level. You know how it goes in these early games early in the season. And then the Mountain West Network tonight. The Mountain West Network tonight.
The Mountain West Wetwork
that
sounds
is the
like
one,
something you do not want to type into your browser.
You absolutely do not. The Mountain West Wetwork is a subsidiary of OnlyFans, I believe. And they're probably going to have to pay quite a bit there. So anyway, San Diego State, 8 o'clock on the Mountain West Network, which is a much more clean operation. How's everything? Good? Blake, how are you doing today? Blake, you can actually scream off camera if you want. Just say, good, I'm good, whatever.
Doing great.
Blake Gamble, man. There's no gambling here with Blake. We, ladies and gentlemen, it's a sure bet. If you've got a pro like Blake Gamble in here with you, he's not one of those, YouTube yahoos. He's the real deal. He knows how it's done. He knows how it's done. There's no doubt. All right. What else is going on? We've got Oklahoma basketball, of course. By the way, the OU women play Ole Miss tonight in Oxford, 6:30 on the SEC Network. Sooner men against fourth-ranked Tennessee at the LNC coming up 11 a.m. on Saturday. ESPN will telecast that. Sooner baseball, we're 8 days away. We are 8 days away from Oklahoma and Lehigh. A week from tomorrow, they'll play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Skip and company are about set to open up the season. What's going on with Sooner football? The search for the GM continues, right?
Well, yes, I suppose.
Any names popping up? Sam Presti working part-time for OU, double duty.
I've mentioned this before.
Sooners would get a lot of picks in the portal. There's no doubt about that.
I don't know if I've mentioned it on these airwaves, but I know this is a name that has been on the radar for members at OUinsider.com since, December sometime? Alonzo Dotson. You remember Alonzo Dotson?
I do, yeah.
Played at OU, currently in the scouting department for the Buffalo Bills. Would not be shocked to see Alonzo Dotson assume a front office role for Oklahoma this offseason.
There you go. All right, 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. We've got a couple of early texts rolling in. And you can also hit the chat on YouTube as well. On YouTube, just search KREF Sports. Once you get to the homepage, just hit the live section. You'll find an old man and a young whippersnapper right there on your screen.
JD in Tulsa, I want you to ask this question again at the top of the 2 o'clock hour. Because it's a really good question, and I want to make sure we dive into it in all of its gory detail on Locked In. But the question is, what are your thoughts on ESPN ranking OU's 2025 class, which ranked 18th nationally and 10th in the SEC, as the most disappointing class? Boy. Yeah, I want to get to that topic of conversation when we kick off Locked In the 2 o'clock hour. I mean, we don't have but a minute or two here before we got to hit a break, but that's
I don't know. You know a lot better than I do. You're very much more involved in that game. I try and pay as much attention as I can, but I've never thought of ESPN as a great source for
Yeah, they're
recruiting.
not, to be clear.
I
They're
kind of
not.
thought, all right, ESPN, I'll look at it, but how seriously can I take it? Well, it's what we talked about yesterday, though, a little bit. If you're a Sooner fan, you can have a class that's, right on the verge of the top 10, or you can be 18th for ESPN. The biggest issue that you have, if you're there in the Big 12, you're mainly worried about Texas. And then a lot of the guys you would lose out to, you will probably never play unless it's a bowl game or a college football playoff game. In the SEC, you can be 7th or 8th or 9th in the SEC, and then you have to go play against a lot of the players that you may have been in their top 5, and all of a sudden you got to go play against them. So as we know, it's a different world in the SEC. We anticipated that. Brent, a lot of it is maybe numbers in the class, needs in the class. I don't think the 2025 class was just a major disappointment, do you? I think it's a pretty solid class, but not spectacular.
The reason it's ranked 18th nationally is not for lack of quality, it's for lack of quantity.
Yeah.
Oklahoma only took 18 scholarship players. It was their smallest class since the COVID class in 2021 when they only took 16.
Yeah.
So without that extenuating circumstance factored into the equation, i.e. the COVID-19 pandemic and the havoc that it wreaked on roster management shortly thereafter with the eligibility freeze and all that, this is the smallest class that I can recall in decades at Oklahoma. 18? That's not usually the norm. You rewind to 2024, they took 28. So it's a small class numbers-wise. That doesn't mean it's a disappointing class, because I think the overall average quality of the players, and like the median player that is represented in Oklahoma's 2025 recruiting class is a dang good football player, a blue chipper.
Yeah. All right, we got to take an early break. We want to thank our friends at Lasher Home Comfort Systems. Tim Lasher, great Sooner, great company. Lasher Home Comfort Systems, home comfort you can trust. 405-579-3113. We're just getting warmed up. What do I want to talk about next? I think we should probably jump into maybe a little bit of NBA, because it's huge news, Chet returning, but we'll also talk Sooner football when we get back. We welcome your texts. Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, 405-651-3439. And we are on YouTube. Just search KREF Sports. You can join the live chat there as well. Coming right back. You're on the home of Sooner fans.
A true Sooner fan wouldn't be caught dead without the KREF app. Join the Army. Get the app. Tell your friends. This is The Ref, where diehard Sooner fans listen.
Fall in love with OKC's favorite casino.
Because at Riverwind, we've got it all.
Grab a bite at one of our many restaurants.
Or sip and spin at our high-stakes area.
And the Showplace Theater at Riverwind is the hottest spot for live music.
Shoot your shot at our $80,000 Cupid's Quest giveaway.
For the best gaming and unforgettable entertainment,
It's gotta be Riverwind.
We all play a role in keeping our communities safe. Oklahoma is no stranger to attacks. It's now easier than ever. If you see something, say something. The free and anonymous Protect OK app allows instant reporting of suspicious activity, both in schools and the community. You can help keep your family and friends safe.
Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Protect OK.
Download the Protect OK app today in the Apple App or Google Play stores. Funded by the Oklahoma Office of Homeland Security.
There are trucks, then there's the truck. GMC Sierra, with available features like the V8 engine, the ultimate luxury interior, and of course, the available world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra, not just any truck, the truck. GMC's continued commitment to professional-grade engineering is on full display at your Oklahoma GMC dealers. Come take a test drive today and see for yourself. We are professional-grade GMC.
What are you waiting for? If you're anything like me, that question keeps you up at night. So don't wait for someone else's green light. Do the things you love right now at Moore Norman Tech. We'll get you out of the classroom and into the real world with hands-on experience in whatever feeds your fire. So get after it. Oklahoma needs more doers, and doers don't wait. More Norman Tech, powered by Oklahoma Career Tech.
Speaking of technology, did you know that RK Black is an authorized dealer for Kyocera copiers? And the Kyocera copiers aren't just copiers. They're smart devices that can scan, print, fax, and email your documents with ease and security. Even better, they're backed by RK Black's award-winning service team that is built on nearly 70 years of taking great care of our clients. Whether you need a desktop printer or a multifunction copier, RK Black has the right product for you. Let's get the conversation started. Give us a call at 943-9800 or visit us at rkblack.com.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. Smile Train celebrates the cleft lip and palate community by empowering medical professionals in over 70 countries to perform essential cleft care in their local communities. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
Now. We tend not to think about now. We dream about tomorrow, relive yesterday. But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory. Learn more at v.org.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really?
Giraffe. You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you cross over into the old section, sometimes your bedtime happens a lot earlier than it did when you were younger. You know, as a kid, I used to watch the Sleepwalkers matinee with Count Gregor, stay up for the Creature feature. We'd be up to 1 or 2 in the morning, and that's how I rolled. Now, last night, watching the Thunder game as Oklahoma City played Denver last night, it was an 8:30 tip. I remember making it just before halftime, and then I woke up out of a haze. It's the middle of the fourth quarter, and my lovely wife, Shay, how cool is she, says, well, you missed a lot of threes and some great defense, and it looks like Shay's going to get 50. And that was it. So it was, I thought last night I had a good game plan to make it, and I did not make it. But I did catch the end. And yes, Shay went for another 50 last night. 3 straight weeks, Wednesday games, he has gotten 50 or more. SGA, I think clearly the MVP favorite right now. Nikola Jokic will be making a push. They've got some more games with Denver. But right now, Shay is in the fast lane to winning an MVP award for Oklahoma City. We'll talk to Brandon Rahbar coming up at 1:20 today because Chet Holmgren is coming back for OKC tomorrow night against the Raptors. Oklahoma City plays Toronto tomorrow night. Then they're at Memphis on Saturday. And that's earlier than we expected. And today's the trade deadline. In fact, 2 o'clock. I guess I need to be checking ESPN. But what's going to happen? You saw the Daniel Tice deal with Oklahoma City yesterday. And is that going to be, is he going to be sent somewhere else? Is that going to be a deal that gets A.J. Jones a full roster spot, not a two-way deal? We'll talk to Brandon about that coming up. A.J. Mitchell, I should say, for Oklahoma City. We'll do that at 1:20. Sooner football, Oklahoma, next year, hoping to have an offense that is taken seriously as like a real Oklahoma Sooner offense again, because last year that got – I don't think I can say comical because Sooner fans weren't laughing. Maybe they laughed a little bit initially, like, seriously? And then they started crying because it was that bad. Got a little bit better when Joe John started calling plays, and they got a little bit healthier and, more chemistry on the offensive line. But still, by OU standards, that offense was pathetic. The Seth Luttrell hire, obviously, not a good one. But Sooners hoping to bounce back on that side of the football coming up this fall. SEC Mike, the other day on his podcast, they were covering one reason to be optimistic this fall for each SEC school, and this is what SEC Mike said about the Sooners.
I basically said they've scrapped the offense, which I think that's with you mentioned it, John Mateer, Ben Arbuckle, and essentially cleaned out the receiving group. So I don't know that the receivers were a problem by any means, but they were banged up, and there was all kinds of issues there. So starting from scratch, but I don't know if that's a winning formula when your coach has got his back against the wall and you're in year 2 of the SEC. Your arch rival just went to the Final Four 2 years in a row. I don't know if you want to be starting from scratch, but that's where it is, and you have to be optimistic that they'll hit a grand slam, and then all of a sudden they're one of the elite because they already got the defense. I mean, it goes without saying. We all know the offense was a nightmare. So if you turn it from a nightmare to, just be, you don't have to be Joe Burrow good, but just be just be solid, and this team can make the college football playoff.
There you go. SEC Mike the other night on their podcast. Parker, this Sooner offense should be significantly improved. Healthy, I can't imagine them having another season with that many injuries. Now, it's very rare that you go through a season without a couple significant injuries here and there, but I've never seen anything like that, particularly at wide receiver and on the O-line. What is the biggest concern? Is it still the offensive line for the Sooners heading into next fall and into the spring?
I think offensively, yes, it certainly can. That offensive line hold up because you look at the cast of characters, Steely, and how many guys are there that you can confidently pencil into the starting lineup? I would say Troy Everett and Jacob Sexton, and that might be it. Maybe there's a case to be made that Febechi Wiwu played a good enough guard to be considered a surefire locked-in starter heading into 2025, but you also have Eddie Pierre-Louis in the mix, right? And so Eddie Pierre-Louis is coming for somebody's spot. There's no doubt about that. So as I see it, you look at the transfer additions and Derek Simmons and Luke Beklenko, two guys that can compete at right tackle. Jake Taylor has some position versatility. He could play outside. He could play inside. Isaiah Autry-Dent, expectations are high for him, and they think he's ready to make the leap into potentially a starting role. You toss in a couple of excellent true freshmen in Michael Fasusi and Ryan Foje that could be ready to give you something right off the bat. And then you have guys that have seen the field in some capacity and have played well at times. Heath Ozida certainly comes to mind. The pieces are there. You just don't know exactly what that starting five is going to look like. And until you know exactly what that starting five is going to look like, I believe there's going to be a healthy degree of uncertainty as to how good this line can actually be. But the way I see it, the answers are there. Just not sure what permutation we're going to see yet from Bill Bedenbaugh as he cobbles together his starting five. I feel confident that they're going to make a leap from where they were in 2024, if only because as much as we talked about the injuries plaguing the wide receiver group, the offensive line had to deal with it to quite an extent as well.
Big
You
time.
didn't get a healthy Branson Hickman all year. Garen Hatchett was out of the picture. Sexton and Taylor both missed substantial time. And so as long as they stay reasonably healthy, they ought to be a lot better in 2025.
Last year, who got blamed for everything? Let's see. You had the medical staff, the training staff, Jerry Schmidt. Who else? That was the most criticism ever of the medical/training staff, the nutritionists, that I've ever seen. I don't ever think, man, the OU medical staff and training staff, Never heard as much of that stuff as I did last fall. By the way, EPL, Eddie Pierre-Louis for the Outland eventually, and EPL for the goal line. You need a yard to get to the end zone. The role of Refrigerator Perry back in the day. Give the ball to EPL. The man's large. He's strong. He's got wheels. He's athletic. Who's the dude who was doing that for Ole Miss last year? they would put him in,
the Pegues guy?
Yeah, I think that was who it
J.J.
was.
Pegues?
Yeah. Why not put EPL in that role? I mean, it sounds somewhat logical to me, even at my age of 62, almost 62, where my brain doesn't function properly all the time.
Function.
See,
Yeah,
I already
Exhibit A.
already had the Mountain West wet work and function. Conjunction, function, what's your function? Sorry. Oh, man, this is the beginning and the end. So why not do that? Seriously, why wouldn't you attempt that if you want a goal line back? There's Eddie Pierre-Louis. He's just waiting to score for you.
I don't think you need him to score. You have Xavier Robinson that can be your goal line back, but if you want to line EPL up at fullback, make him the lead blocker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't hate that. That's to see that guy.
I love Xavier Robinson.
Coming with a head of steam.
I love him, but I'm saying you could even dot the I with EPL back there. That would be intimidating. Also, there you go. I want to see EPL on the goal line. That's all I'm saying.
Could deploy the Maryland I. Get old Eddie and pick another offensive lineman. Fasusi. That's how you get Fasusi in right off the bat. Fasusi and Eddie Pierre-Louis paving the way for Xavier Robinson out of the Maryland I.
What was the last great? Well, the Belldozer for a while was pretty good, right? But I'm trying to think, did OU ever have a goal line back that was just huge? That Blake Bell played that role, obviously, in the Belldozer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you guys think? All right, 405-651-3439. I mean, they gave the freaking jet sweep to Bauer Sharp a couple times, right?
Yes, that happened.
So who would you rather have?
Bauer Sharp or EPL?
Goal line, hand the ball, on a big play, hand the ball to EPL, just.
Yeah, I would just make sure you give EPL specific instructions not to throw the ball.
Yeah, that's right. So bad. The Garo Yepremian video popped up. Who's the guy who does the old NFL videos? Kevin Gallagher, I think. The old Garo Yepremian video. What Garo Yepremian did, he tried to throw at the Dolphins kicker in the Super Bowl loss to the Redskins, and it slipped out of his hand, and it started fluttering in the air, and he, tried to punch the ball or tap the ball like it was a volleyball right into the hands of Mike Bass of the Redskins, who took it for a pick six. But Miami still won the game. But I've said that was the second worst pass in football history behind Garo Yepremian. Samaj P. Ryan was not small. That's right. He was a good, solid power back, right?
Here's a deep cut. Stocker McDougal.
Did they line up Stocker McDougal in that formation a couple times?
KW in the 918 says O-lineman Stocker McDougal played running back in 99 and scored a touchdown.
I should remember that, K-Dub, but I think you're right. Stocker McDougal, yeah. EPL and Jiren Kanic would be unstoppable. So what do you think of the Kanic experiment?
I'm really not sure what to think yet. Because until the pads come on, we're not going to know any more about Jiren Kanic than we already know, which is he's an incredible athlete, and it hasn't really worked out for him at linebacker. So is this switch going to be seamless? Is he going to be ready to slot back in on the offensive side of the football and carve out a role? I think given his sheer athleticism, the skill set that he brings to the table, it's a possibility, but it takes more than athleticism to be a great tight end. Because Bauer Sharp had great athleticism, Steely.
Yeah.
We saw what that translated to. Not a whole heck of a lot in the realm of production.
There were just so many things that went wrong with the offense. Like I said, did it get a little bit better at the end of the year? Yes, but it was still so far away from OU standards. Lydell Carr, says Kevin in Tulsa. Lydell, great wishbone fullback. Yeah, he was hard to stop. Former Enid Plainsman from back in the day. By the way, on YouTube, Randy says the Sooner Sports app is showing that it will stream both games today. Craig also mentioned Stocker McDougal as well. Nice job, Craig. Good recall. Mars says Parker, I'm a big fan. Keep up the great work. Did you pay this guy off? Do you have your own
I have-
bots?
I have no idea.
You bought your own bots, haven't you?
I have no idea who Mars Jams 2 is, but thank you, Mars Jams 2. Craig also added the student section used to call Stalker McDougal the fatback.
I think that was the year that I was in Wichita Falls and I was trying to watch, not every game was televised back then, but yeah, Stalker McDougal was a good player for Oklahoma back in the day.
He played a few years in the NFL too. I think he was a first-round pick, wasn't he?
I think he may have been late first round, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead and Google him up. I'm going to call the ARP and see if they can get some bots for me in the chat. Is that who I would call?
Probably not.
I wonder
Steely.
how much 100 bots per stream would be.
You think anybody affiliated with the AARP is going to have the technical savvy to be able to orchestrate that for you?
Probably not. You can tell who the bot people are when they go from like, I've got like 17 likes, and then all of a sudden the next couple weeks they've got like 60,000 on something. That's called bot purchases. So anyway, there you go. All right, today here in studio, Buffalo Wild Wings studio. Tomorrow at Riverwind Casino. Tell you more about the great promotions in February. The 80K Cupid's Quest, those drawings are tomorrow night. The 15K Cupid's Bouquet of Cash. Thunder Up and Double Down. You can win a bunch of dollars in chips, $700 in chips. The Royal Hearts 30K promotion. That's a chip promotion as well. And the 30K Love to Win hot seat drawings as well. A lot of great promotions happening in February over at Riverwind. We'll tell you more about them coming up. All right, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Break time right here. We're coming back. We will hit up the text line and a little bit on John Mateer when we get back here on the home of Sooner fans.
Join the movement. The Ref Army is growing. Don't miss a second of the Sooner coverage you want with the KREF app, the #1 source for Sooner fans.
Imagine one step, and suddenly a fall turns into a fracture. For many, osteoporosis is a hidden threat, weakening bones silently until it's too late. At the Ortho Central Bone Health Clinic, we believe in personalized care to keep bones strong and resilient. Led by advanced practitioner Amanda Boyd, our team specializes in detection and personalized treatment plans, from bone density testing to strengthening bones after a fracture. Take charge of your bone health today. Call Ortho Central's Bone Health Clinic and let's build better bones together.
Life is yours to spend. Spend it making more money. Spend it making more memories. Spend it learning a new skill. Spend it teaching an old trick. Spend it career climbing. Spend it mountain climbing. First United Bank. Spend life wisely.
Hello, Norman. This is Mayor Larry Heikela. I'm honored to have the endorsement of our brave firefighters and dedicated police officers. Their trust in my leadership reflects our shared commitment to keeping our community safe and thriving. Let's work towards solutions that ensure a safer, more prosperous future for all.
Hi, I'm Barry Switzer. I'm supporting Larry again for mayor. Vote for Larry on February the 11th. We need him again, I promise you.
Paid for and authorized by Mayor Heikela 2025 and endorsed by Fire and Police.
Are you, your family, or company looking for a locally owned and trusted management group? Carlsbad Management Group is an owner, developer, and manager of high-quality apartment communities in Oklahoma. They are a locally owned and operated management company for apartments and self-storage units. They are committed to providing exceptional apartment homes, customer service, and increasing the value of multi-family communities under our management. If you would like a free management quote today, call Carlsbad Management at 405-701-1411 and be part of the Carlsbad family.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Good lighting is an absolute necessity these days, but not all lights are created equal. Did you know that you can reduce the energy consumption of a light fixture by up to 85% by converting to LED? Sounds like a great opportunity, but finding the right LED product isn't always easy. At Wade Electric, they have the knowledge and experience to provide an LED conversion that will save you money and stand the test of time. Whether in your home or office, get the right money-saving LED product the first time and call Wade Electric today at 405-329-1940 to receive a free estimate.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Every day, we rise, challenging ourselves to work for what we believe in. At U.S. Border Patrol, protecting our borders is more than a job. It's a calling. Agents answer the call, working together to keep our country and communities safe. If you're ready for a new mission, join U.S. Border Patrol and go beyond. Learn more at cbp.gov/careers/Border Patrol.
Hey, my bad. I jumped the gun there. Welcome back. Mike Steely, Parker Thune here on the home of Sooner fans, Steelman and Thune at noon. Still working through the noon hour. We're going to be with you until 2 o'clock. Parker will be along, of course, for Locked In at 2 o'clock as well. Brandon Rahbar, Daily Thunder, our Thunder Insider, will join us at 1:20. Talk about the trade deadline. The trade deadline's 2 o'clock today. Now, a lot of times it'll take a while for any deals that would come down that you might find out the deal three hours later or whatever, maybe early in the evening. But Kevin Durant, again, did not want to go to Golden State, so the Warriors deal not happening. The latest we'd heard, maybe Dallas would try and work a deal, maybe the Rockets. We'll see what's going to happen there. Jimmy Butler to Golden State. Will Oklahoma City do anything else? What's going to happen with the Daniel Tice acquisition the other day? What's going to happen there? We'll talk to him about that. A minor acquisition, obviously, for Oklahoma City. But the big news is Chet Holmgren is coming back tomorrow night for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Much sooner than expected, which is good news. That means you've got a chance to work on that Chet iHeart lineup with Chet playing the 4 for 33 games. We were thinking, well, maybe they'll get 10, 15 games together, something like that. So that's a good situation for Oklahoma City. But I got to tell you, there's still a scare factor for me with Chet Holmgren because he's so wiry, thin, and look, basketball players, their muscles are different, and they're a lot skinnier, even though they might be in great shape. And that was kind of the concern with a lot of people about Chet. Will he get pushed around? He's a supreme athlete, great shot blocker. Fantastic player that's only going to get better. You just hope that he can stay healthy. And I do think, the main reason he got, do you want to challenge every shot at the rim? Yes. That was kind of a freaky situation that happened. It was Andrew Wiggins, right? That was driving to the basket, I believe. So, anyway, he is coming back tomorrow night. We'll see if, is he ready to play a lot of minutes? I wouldn't think so, but we'll see what role and how much of a role he'll have in that matchup with Toronto tomorrow night at the Paycom Palace. Okay. Great job on the text line. Blake also put out the info. Stalker McDougal, number 20 overall pick to Detroit in 2000, played 8 years in the league. So a good, solid NFL career for Stalker McDougal. All right, Steve Owens was known for goal line touchdowns. Yeah, Steve Owens was a beast. Obviously, 69 Heisman winner. Carried the ball, 55 times against Oklahoma State. I mean, he was a workhorse. There's no doubt. So he was a good back also. Ramondre Stevenson, that's a good call too. Man, Ramondre Stevenson, what a great get that ended up being for Oklahoma. Has also done a lot of good things in the National Football League. That guy, when he came back, and was it when Ronnie who was the other guy? Was it Stevenson, Perkins, and who else were suspended and they came back? And Ramondre Stevenson, it was the first game back was that Tech game, right?
I believe it was Stevenson, Perkins, and Trajan Bridges.
Trajan Bridges, that's right. And I think they were involved with the chronic, weren't they? Apparently, or they got crunk is what happened.
Yes, they did get crunk, a little too crunk.
That's right. But Stevenson, like Nuke LaLoosh in Bull Durham, announced his presence with authority in that game. He was back big time, and so did Ronnie Perkins as well. All right. By the way, I want to play this clip from Ben Arbuckle about John Mateer because. You're thinking about the championship teams that I've seen, 74, 75. Steve Davis, he wasn't the best wishbone quarterback Oklahoma ever had, but he was a tremendous leader, mature beyond his years. Sallisaw, Oklahoma, preacher's kid. We lost him way too soon. There is no doubt about that. Was an announcer for ABC, but was a tremendous leader and won back-to-back national championships. And again, he was a guy that was a good player. Maybe he wasn't Jamel or Jack Milton or Thomas Lott, but he was an excellent player and a force in the locker room and leader on those back-to-back championship teams. 85, Jamel Holloway. You start out with Troy Aikman, broken leg against Miami. Jamel comes in. Sooners win the Natty. Jamel, super talented, just had the natural instincts to run the triple option and cool as a cucumber, man. And nothing really fazed him. So you had a really great quarterback, wishbone quarterbacks we're talking about. And then Josh Heupel in 2000, again, not an NFL arm, but great presence in the locker room, still could make a lot of the throws, maybe a little bit similar to Dylan Gabriel with a better supporting cast. And that guy just believed that Oklahoma could win the championship, and they did. So can John Mateer be that kind of presence for the Oklahoma Sooners? So far, you're hearing great stuff in workouts. He's taking a leadership role, all of that. And, of course, he got high praise from his OC, Ben Arbuckle, the other day. This is what Ben Arbuckle said about what John Mateer brings to the table.
John is the ultimate do everything right all the time guy, right? He's going to be in the building. He's going to be early for weights. He's going to be early for his nutrition. He'll never, ever miss anything, which I know is expected, but he does it to the nth degree. Has great relationships with everyone on the team. He's an easy person to talk to, easy guy to get along with. And so he has no problem connecting with his teammates, which I think is a huge thing for a quarterback. And as far as the familiarity he already has with the system and everything, at the end of the day, and this is something that, I told him going in, hey man, you're another ball coach. You get to assist us in implementing everything. And I was like, and no better person for the other players on the team to hear it from than you. I was like, it means more whenever it comes from a player. Player-led teams, I think, are unstoppable forces, and he gets to be the first enforcement of that. And so, just his familiarity with everything is invaluable. Who he is as a kid is invaluable, and he's unbelievable. He's awesome.
There you go. Ben Arbuckle talking about the Sooners' new quarterback, John Mateer. And Parker, you guys, an OU insider, you know what's going on kind of the locker room, and you get, a lot of the inside scoop from your sources there. And you're hearing great reports so far about Mateer, right? And in terms of the role that he's playing, you want your quarterback to be the leader in your locker room.
Yeah, certainly.
You want him to be the Danny Stutzman of last year's defense, right?
Yeah.
Who everybody looks to.
Well, and look, we've discussed this. A very critical aspect of being an effective leader in the sport of college football is excelling on the field. So, to this point, it doesn't really mean a whole lot until the pads go on and until the team takes the field for spring practice and we really get the chance to see how talented John Mateer actually is, especially when he goes up against Power 4 defenses with regularity. But all of the things that you've heard so far regarding John Mateer are all the things that you would like to hear about your heir apparent at the quarterback position. There are no red flags thus far.
Yeah, and, 44 total touchdowns, 15 rushing touchdowns. Wazoo's leading rusher. He carried the ball as many times as Javonte Barnes and Taylor Tatum combined for Oklahoma did. Now, Jackson Arnold ran it a lot for Oklahoma last year. You were around the locker room, practices, post-game. I don't do post-game anymore, just pre-game. So you can kind of get a feel for what the dynamic is in that locker room. Jackson Arnold as a leader, how was he as a leader, in your opinion? And I think one of the things that probably became an issue was he didn't play very well. The offense wasn't very good, and that affected his confidence, and maybe it affected in a leadership role.
Well, and that's why I noted there that part of being an effective leader is excelling on the football field, because Jackson Arnold had all of the right qualities to be an effective leader for the football program, except for the fact that he just didn't play very well on Saturdays. And to a certain extent, okay, that couldn't be helped because of the circumstances for Oklahoma's offense. But Jackson Arnold was kind of handicapped in that regard as far as his ability to lead, because things weren't set up for him to succeed. And because they weren't set up for him to succeed, because he wasn't playing good ball, because he was struggling and committing turnovers, and the offense was just generally ineffective at being able to get down the field and score points, it was difficult, and it became all the more difficult for Arnold to lead with any degree of reliability and to really demand the respect of the locker room. Because when you're an alpha, man, and you saw this with Baker Mayfield, I think you saw it with Jalen Hurts, some of the great leaders in recent years for Oklahoma, and that's not necessarily exclusive to the quarterback position, but those guys were the dudes that were showing up every Saturday and balling out. And again, that's kind of what you have to do if you want to maximize your capacity as a leader.
Yeah, and we'll see. We look at the schedule next year, and what was the game that we pointed to last year as being crucial for Oklahoma? Tennessee, right?
That's right.
And you think about all the opportunities that the defense gave that offense in that Tennessee game. And you can talk about, well, Josh Heupel took his foot off the gas or whatever. Well, I believe a big reason he took his foot off the gas is Oklahoma was getting to his quarterback also. And if you've got a lead, I get it. Maybe you want to run the football and not risk, throwing a pick or getting your quarterback hurt. I guess that played into it, but also the fact that the Oklahoma defense was getting to Nico was a part of that. But the Sooners had so many opportunities in that game. They gave him the ball. Was it inside the 5-yard line of the one where Jackson fumbled?
Yes, it was on the 5-yard line.
You talk about that is the golden opportunity right there to get the crowd even more into the game, strike a little fear, maybe, affect Tennessee's level of confidence. They were coming in flying high. And, and then again, you just look at all the plays in that game where Oklahoma had opportunities. And there were other games in the season, that they had the same opportunities. You know who you need to thank, too? The football gods gave you Kip Lewis last season also, particularly the Auburn game. And a great call by Brent Venables in that defense, because Oklahoma was right on the edge of losing that game. I mean, this close. And a great defensive call and a great play by Kip Lewis. Got that one for Oklahoma. All right, 405-651-3439. Les Wilson on YouTube says Jackson's problem started at that first bowl game. It was drilled into him not to turn the ball over. Then their practices, they brought the kitchen sink at him and hurt his confidence. That affected him badly. You did kind of hear that Brent was throwing a lot of stuff at him, and then you started hearing, Michael Hawkins is actually maybe looking like he's a better quarterback right now in the early practices.
Yeah, no, that was a very real phenomenon, and I'll say this much, Steely, that does give you a lot of confidence going into the Auburn game this fall, doesn't it? Knowing that Jackson Arnold is the starting quarterback or will be the starting quarterback for the Tigers, and he had all sorts of issues dealing with the complexities of Brent Venables' defensive scheme on the practice field.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess you're trying to get him prepared and whatever, but, I had heard the same thing. So clearly his confidence was shaken, but he's still – I don't know if I was super worried about the Alamo Bowl. Now, again, if Jalil Farouk holds on to that football, Oklahoma's about to go up 17, right? I think it was, and close it out against Arizona. Was it 17 or 21? But they had control of that game, and that changed everything, the return. So, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Here we go. Couldn't care less about Chet Holmgren. He has nothing to do with OU sports other than taking money away from OU. From Jody. There's our first NBA woke guy. They're still out there.
The first was me, to be clear.
You,
That's the
sir,
second NBA woke guy.
You are joining that hillbilly contingent. I can't believe you're not a hillbilly.
No, I'm certainly not a hillbilly.
You just
of
don't
all
have-
the things I am least of all a hillbilly.
Couldn't care less. You always get that one NBA guy. Couldn't care less about. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're possibly going to win an NBA championship. We will talk about them some. I don't care how many hillbillies come at me on that. It doesn't matter. All right? So go pull up your Wranglers and get out there and listen to some Blake Shelton. And by God, the NBA's woke. All right? Couldn't care less. By the way, that wasn't phrased properly either. So, anyway. Those people. Maybe there's some hee-haw reruns on RFD. You'll hang out with Junior Samples. Call him up at BR549. We're coming right back. By the way, thanks to Lasher Home Comfort Systems. They are awesome. Very awesome. We shall return.
Sound off any time of day on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439. Right here on the home of Sooner fans, the Ref Sports Radio Network.
The all-new Eskridge Honda is here, right in time for the new year. Our new building is awesome, just like these deals. Pay just $259 per month on new 2024 Accords. Come in today to get the best deals all month long. Now conveniently located off I-35 and 89th. Just look for the blue tents on the roof. Online at eskridgehonda.com.
2024 Accord LX, $259 per month, 3-year, 10,000-mile lease, $399 plus TTNL and first month's payment due at signing. Ends 1/31/25.
March is almost here, and the home of Sooner fans is ready to make the best 68-team giveaway better than ever again this year. Join us Monday, March 17th for the Ref's 24th annual 68-team giveaway, live at Buffalo Wild Wings, off of 19th Street and more, from noon to 7. The Ref's 68-team giveaway is presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. The Ref, the home of Sooner fans, and your home for the best giveaways this March.
This is Mark Van Hoos, owner of Van Hoos Fence. Van Hoos Fence has years of experience and proven superior performance, kind of like a certain head ball coach.
We know Van Hoos Fence offers the best value and service for your residential, commercial, or sports fencing needs. Whether it's a new install or repair work, let Mark and his team at Van Hoos Fence be your trusted resource.
Call us today at 405-735-1167.
Save yourself from Googling it up. Go to vhfence.com. They will work with you in a great way.
Hello, Norman. This is Mayor Larry Heikela. I'm honored to have the endorsement of our brave firefighters and dedicated police officers. Their trust in my leadership reflects our shared commitment to keeping our community safe and thriving. Let's work towards solutions that ensure a safer, more prosperous future for all.
Hi, I'm Barry Switzer. I'm supporting Larry again for mayor. Vote for Larry on February the 11th. We need him again, I promise you.
Paid for and authorized by Mayor Heikela 2025 and endorsed by Fire and Police.
Would you like to play a more active role in your health? At Hightower Clinical, we believe all Oklahomans should have access to new potential treatment options through clinical trial participation. Our team wants to support you with the best care possible through clinical trials. No health insurance is required. Compensation is available for eligible study participants, and study care is provided at no cost.
Having the chance to go through a trial and find out if something works for them and makes their life easier, I would recommend them do it.
To learn more, scan this QR code and visit our website.
Hi Norman, it's DJ Newsom with Alliance Bank, your community-driven, friendly neighborhood bank. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur, lead a nonprofit organization, or just someone seeking a better banking experience, we've got you covered. From business to personal banking, we tailor our services to suit everyone's needs. We believe in making banking easy and enjoyable. Visit our Norman location or call us today at 405-286-5750. Alliance Bank, banking tailored to your needs. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Ashton and I'm with the nonprofit Fostering Futures. Every day, children are removed from their homes due to abuse and neglect. In these critical moments, we step in to support these vulnerable kids. We work alongside child welfare workers to meet the essential needs of safety, stability, and healthy connections, as well as providing enrichment opportunities. But we can't do this important work without your support. Consider donating at fosteringfuturesok.org. Together, we can offer children a brighter future.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that. Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You're listening to the home of Sooner fans, KREF, Norman, Oklahoma, and streaming live on the KREF app.
The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Let's jump into hour number 2, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's what I was hearing in my head before I fell asleep during the Thunder game last night. Just... And then I wake up. Oh, it's in the fourth quarter. Shea says, yeah, you missed a lot of threes, some good defense, and Shea looks like he's going to score 50. Oh, okay. That's what I was hearing in my head. Jody, sir, you are a gentleman and a scholar. Jody says, I am not a hillbilly either. I have an OU degree, and I attended on an academic scholarship. I just know what is best for OU. Okay. I thought you were one of the NBA's woke, kind of, NBA, man. Because what was my mission early on here? We were going to get rid of the hillbillies, and I think we've gotten rid of like 92% of them. So, Jody, my most humble apologies to you, sir. I will look you in the eye, and I will shake your hand right now. Congratulations on the academic honors. The old man can be a little bit harsh. I prejudge. That's not good. But, initially when we had a few NBA, particularly in the offseason, which we rarely, if ever, lead with, we had a couple, I don't want to hear about that NBA, BS, man. I might not listen again. I would say, good, see ya. Or we'd block them. Because that's what we do now, ladies and gentlemen, when we don't perceive somebody as intelligent as we just block
We
them.
just block them?
That's it, yes, that's it.
Is that how you operate?
Now, I'm brilliant. You have to, I'm the guy who just called the Mountain West Network the Mountain West Wet Work in the first segment today, right off the bat.
Did you Urban Dictionary that one?
No, I don't think you probably shouldn't do that. The Urban Dictionary, you never want to go there. I remember the first, because I didn't know what it was. Somebody said, you need the Urban Dictionary, that strawberry swirl or something. And I'm like, what? What's the Urban Dictionary? Okay, I'll try. Oh, my God. No. It was brutal. So, Jody, I'm sorry, sir. We just, if it was the days when the Thunder were like horrible, okay, but to venture in and the big news in the NBA so far today is Chet coming back. I'm just saying. I understand if you think they take money away from OU, there probably is some truth in that. I get it. Okay.
Maybe the Thunder will get moved down to Dallas after the Mavs relocate to Vegas.
That would be heartbreaking because my wife, she loves Thunder basketball. She won't watch another NBA game, but in the Thunder, she gets so into it. I love it. It's awesome. By the way, speaking of hoops, I'm going to play this because it's Austin Reeves. And I don't think we played this soundbite. I know we haven't. I haven't heard it on the ref yet, but Austin Reeves, Hillbilly Kobe. Did we ever imagine that Austin Reeves would be this good?
No, absolutely not.
In the NBA. I mean, we were thinking, okay, he may go over to Europe, right? He may go over to Europe and make some money there. Maybe he'll, see some time in the NBA.
Keep in mind, when Austin Reeves transferred to Oklahoma in the first place from Wichita State, he wasn't even a ball handler at that point. He was a very Wichita State player.
Wasn't he mainly known for three-point shooting at Wichita State?
He was a 3-and-D dude that was coming, he looked like a Wichita State player. He looked like another Ron Baker, who Ron Baker, likewise, actually has had a pretty decent career in professional basketball, not nearly as good as Austin Reeves, but even so, it seems like despite the fact that Wichita State just seemingly recruits some moderately athletic white guys to shoot threes and play defense, they all turned out to be pretty dang good, and none better than Austin Reeves, who transferred to Oklahoma, not only became a very valuable member of the starting lineup for the Sooners, but ultimately became their primary ball handler, became the guy that got the rock when it mattered in crunch time situations, and that had a year of eligibility left and decided, you know what? No, I'm going to bet on myself. I'm going to go to the NBA. And he didn't get drafted. And we all looked at it and said, well, boy, that was a moronic decision. And then he goes and tears it up in the G League, earns a promotion, and it's been all downhill from there, man.
Yeah. Many times with LeBron and AD, Austin Reeves has been their third best player, right? He's been their third best player for most of that time. Here's what he had to say the other day, and I love this because of, talking about his teammate. And but they asked Austin Reeves, Hillbilly Kobe, former Sooner, how he's been dealing with the AD for Luka trade. Here's what he said.
This is the first time I've been a part of kind of the shock of a trade. And like I said, I asked Brian earlier, I was like, you've seen, you've been in the league for a billion years. You've had a million teammates. You've seen people come and go, and like, how do you deal with that? Because like I said, the last couple of days it's been tough for me. I feel like I had just like a empty pit in my stomach. Just because we've like I said, the last 4 years with AD, 3 years with Max, a couple of years with Hood. Like I said, you create real relationships and bonds, and then out of nowhere, it's just they're on a different team, competing to do what they want to do. And so to answer your question, I don't know. Continue to do what, I do every day. Enjoyed, basketball. And every time I step on the court, kind of just let everything go and just have fun as if I was a kid still playing basketball.
He was chewing gum the whole time, so if he would have been on the Letterman show, Dave would have made him spit out his gum, because Dave used to do that with guests. If they were chewing gum, he would take the gum. But I like the answer, because, it's a profession. You can be involved in a trade at any minute. He went on to talk about, I guess Anthony Davis's daughter or whatever would always, come up to him. I want to talk to Reeves or whatever. But what an amazing story, I think, sometimes because we don't see a lot of his games, and maybe when he plays Oklahoma City or, obviously when the Lakers won the cup, first cup, or some national games, but that's one of the truly incredible. Is there another Sooner basketball story that I'm not remembering that is unlikely as Austin Reeves being basically the third best player in the Lakers for a while?
No, nothing comes remotely close, Steely. Because again, like, even if you watched Austin Reeves at his peak at Oklahoma, and not just the Austin Reeves that showed up and was a rotation guy for a little while for Oklahoma, but you fast forward to the Austin Reeves that dropped 40 on TCU at Schollmeyer Arena, including the dagger. The Austin Reeves that, by his last season at Oklahoma under Lon Kruger, by the time that season rolled around, he was the guy that was the Sooners' primary ball handler and the one calling the shots out there on the floor general, if you will. Even if you watched that guy in his peak form, you would not have imagined, that's going to be a $50 million NBA player one day. And that's what he's become. It's remarkable.
It is cool. I love it. And one thing that happened pretty early on in the process is LeBron embraced him. And that's what you want if you're playing for the Lakers. You want LeBron to be on your side. Initially, it looked like he was going to be on Russell Westbrook's side, and then he wasn't on Russell Westbrook's side. Russ got blamed for a lot of stuff, and Russ was out of there. How are we looking on our poll, Blake? By the way, the poll today is, even though the Sooners softball team, they opened today against San Diego out in San Diego. Cal State Northridge, 5:30, 8 o'clock against San Diego State. 2 games today in San Diego. Then they moved to L.A. for games. The poll question again is, should OU softball be looked at as the team to beat, even though they're ranked number 3 in the country behind Texas and Florida? just like the SEC preseason poll. Texas, Florida, Oklahoma. Right now, 76% say yes, 24% say no. So there you go. You can vote on our poll on YouTube. All right. That didn't sound right. Vote in the poll. Vote on. That sounded awfully tawdry.
The peanut gallery is cackling at you.
Well, it didn't sound right. The good thing, becoming the old man that I am, is some of these slips are going to keep happening every day, so I'll just be here for comic relief until there's a really big slip. I've already had one, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have 2 more strikes for the FCC?
1.5.
1.5. There you go. By the way,
the JFA incident being the half, obviously.
Jackson, Arnold, and then the Nick Saban disaster of 2024. They went through us like through a tin horn. I don't know. That was probably, I would say the Duncan disappearance was probably the biggest clown moment that I've had. And then probably the Nick Saban feces in the tin horn comment. That sounds like a great band to go say, hey, honey, you want to go see feces in the tin horn? Is that a jazz ensemble? No, it's just feces in a tin horn. Nick Saban's favorite. So there you go. By the way, we want to thank, I don't know if they want to be associated with the previous 30 seconds, but we want to thank Hightower Clinical. They are awesome clinical trial opportunities here in the state of Oklahoma, in the metro area. No cost, no insurance needed to take part. Meds provided for free. Patients are compensated for their time. Located in various metro area locations in the Oklahoma City area. HightowerClinical.com if you want to check them out on the web, get some more information. Or you can call or text them at this number, 405-831-5905. That's 405-831-5905 for Hightower Clinical. Okay. What do we have on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line and on the YouTube chat?
KW918 says, the Duncan disappearance was the stuff of legend. Don't knock it.
For those of you who don't know what the Duncan disappearance was, we did remote at Rick Broad's golf club up in Duncan. And so Plank was there. And Teddy hadn't been, I don't think Teddy did the first remote that we did up there. So we went up and did another remote up there in Duncan and the territory. And so I thought, I just had it in my mind, nobody told me anything. Nobody communicated anything to me. Now, I didn't ask either, so I probably should have asked. But I got done at 2 o'clock, and I packed up the equipment, and I was out of there quickly. I love that place. Rick's a great guy. They got a great staff there, too. It's a cool place. But, so I'm just driving along, you know, there's an area in between Duncan and Chickasha where the cell reception is not great, and I'm just you know, driving along with all the equipment in the trunk. And when I get to the greater Chickasha metro area, the phone starts bleeping, going off like crazy. And there was some more bleeping in the text. Turn around, old man! Teddy needs the equipment! What the hell are you doing? Call me back! Turn around! Damn it! Teddy needs the equipment! So all of this is happening, and I'm completely, these texts are like 20, 25 minutes old when I finally get them. And I realize I turn around like the hero that I ended up being in this story and saved the day by getting there at least within 10 minutes into the broadcast or so. But that was the Duncan disappearance. Teddy shows up, no equipment anywhere. I think he did the first segment actually on like a cell phone from his truck.
I think it's remarkable that you managed to portray yourself as a hero
Oh.
at the end of the day. It reminds me of Tim Robinson in the hot dog suit saying, we're all trying to find the guy who did this.
So that was the Duncan disappearance. And there was some elder abuse on that text line. I should have saved the texts. Anyway, All right, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text.
Reformed Homer says, are you trying to data mine me with the poll? Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. We want all of your personal data.
Look, they all have it already, right? All of these politicians are criminals, except like some on the local level. They mean well. Most of them, if they're in a higher-up situation in both parties, they're pretty much evil criminals. They're just lining their own pockets, telling you what you need to hear and thinking, can you believe they believe this stuff? And they're enriching themselves. Now, not John Thune, the majority leader. That man is
Yeah, no, that's
pure
actually
as
what
the
we're
driven
doing.
snow.
That's actually what we're doing with all your personal information. We're data mining you, and then I am using my high-up political connections to pass all of that data to Elon Musk.
Mhm.
So just be forewarned.
There you go.
Cards
All
on the table.
Parker, man, he just drove in a brand new Benz today. I was wondering what the heck was going on. I think it was that data already. All right, so you traded in the White Buffalo? Is that what happened?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can't participate in this joke anymore.
Okay.
I'm still driving the White Buffalo. It's about to hit 200,000 miles, Steely.
Man, what year's the White Buffalo?
2016.
See, if we didn't have the copyright limitations that we have, we could play Ted Nugent's The
yep.
Great White Buffalo. But now that buffalo has been slayed.
Oh, my goodness.
So, or as some, who was, didn't Toby Keith call him Nuge, I think, some of his friends?
Who do you hold responsible for the additional difficulty that streaming on YouTube has caused you?
Society.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
society. I blame society. All right.
I was hoping you were going to blame Drake Dykin.
No, Drake's
I thought we'd get
actually-
another Drake diss track.
Yeah. We could come up with a diss track. You guys tried to get me in a beef with Travis yesterday, and, I told people I'm not beefing with anybody. And I'm not here to answer all your tweets and give you any more attention. That's not me. I live in the real world where the brilliant people reside, not the knuckle-dragging buffoons who are on social media all the time. Okay, break time. When we get back, Brandon Rahbar joins us. We'll talk about Chet coming back tomorrow night and the trade deadline of the NBA. And only 45 minutes left. What's going on? How does it all affect the Thunder? We'll get into that when we get back.
A true Sooner fan wouldn't be caught dead without the KREF app. Join the Army. Get the app. Tell your friends. This is The Ref, where diehard Sooner fans listen.
Oklahoma baseball single-game tickets are on sale now. Don't miss a packed 31-game home schedule this spring at L. Dale Mitchell Park. Seats start at just $10 per game, with exciting promotions like $2 Tuesdays, Firework Fridays, and Sunday Fun Day for Conference Series. Guaranteed fun for the whole family. Check out the game schedule and more information at Soonersports.com. Join us at the ballpark and Boomer Sooner.
Oklahoma DRS helps job seekers with disabilities become taxpayers.
Their whole thing is to help people with disabilities go back to work.
They knew that I would be successful if I did not give up.
They have given me the power and confidence to face any challenge.
I'm just glad that, DRS was there. Empower yourself. Talk to DRS Vocational Rehabilitation.
Or services for the blind today.
OKDRS.gov. 800-487-4042.
I'm Gina Mitchell of Mitchell's Jewelry. Are you ready to make this a Valentine's Day to remember? Our favorite Antwerp diamond suppliers in the store, February 7th through the 9th. Choose from perfectly matched sets for earrings, gorgeous diamonds for a proposal, and an amazing selection for pendants. Our prices and selection simply cannot be beat. Purchase yours during our Antwerp Diamond event, and you could be our next Antwerp Diamond winner. Mitchell's Jewelry in the heart of Norman at 2201 West Main Street.
Confidence comes from knowing you're getting a great deal. That's why we're offering Confidence Ford employee pricing for everyone. The same exclusive prices our team enjoys, with fantastic savings on new 2023 and 2024 models in stock. Now is the perfect time to drive home in a brand new Ford. Visit us online or come see us in person, conveniently located at 825 North Interstate Drive. Confidence Ford of Norman, a Cavender Auto family dealership, where confidence is Cavender.
Does your business need a trusted electrical advisor to help with repairs, maintenance, service changes, or upgrades? Don't just trust anyone. Choose Wade Electric, a family-owned company with over 50 years of experience. Wade Electric has an extensive portfolio of completed projects in new construction, remodels, and service. We specialize in a variety of electrical installations like accent lighting and automation, landscape and security lighting, shop and outbuilding wiring, and more. Call Wade Electric today at 405-329-1940 for all your electrical needs.
Basketball season's here, and there's no better place to watch the Sooners than at Coach's Corner in Norman. Catch every thrilling play on tons of TVs, plus enjoy the coldest beer in town. But wait, Coach's Corner isn't just for game days. Join us Tuesday nights for bingo, Wednesday nights for Singo, and don't miss Thirsty Thursdays with unbeatable drink specials. With Soul Food Sundays, the best atmosphere for OU basketball, and events all week long, Coach's Corner is your go-to spot at the intersection of Lindsay and Berry, where every day is game day.
Are you looking for a luxury apartment for rent in Norman? The Falls at Brookhaven offers stunning 2- and 3-bedroom spacious floor plans with large walk-in closets, washer and dryer hookup, and a fabulous kitchen in a well-maintained, calm environment. From plush carpet to sleek stainless steel appliances to a pool, 24-hour fitness, and 2 dog parks, the Falls at Brookhaven has it all. Call our locally owned and operated community at 405-701-8233 or go online to thefallsatbrookhaven.com for a free tour and see what living in luxury is like.
Every day, innocent families share the road with massive semi-trucks. The safety of everyone depends on trucking companies to hire careful drivers. But when trucking companies ignore red flags and hire dangerous drivers, the results can be deadly.
Reckless hiring practices put bad drivers on the road. Just last year, 5,700 large trucks were involved in a fatal crash. One bad hiring decision, one unsafe driver can change a life forever.
These tragedies are avoidable. Companies must be held accountable for reckless hiring practices that put all of us at risk. If you or a loved one has been affected, call McIntyre Law.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow at the one and only Riverwind Casino, we have the drawings happening tomorrow night for the 80K Cupid's Quest all month long. Play with your wild card Mondays and Tuesdays. You'll get it 5 times the entries by getting some points in your wild card. Then be there on Fridays. Friday night drawings, again, they happen every Friday this month, the 80K Cupid's Quest contest. And again, win your share of 80K in cash and bonus play. We have the 15K Cupid's Bouquet of Cash also happening, the Thunder Up and Double Down promotion all month long. $700 in chips to be won there, 30K Royal Hearts. Win a share of 30K in chips all month long as well. And the 30K Love to Win hot seats happening on Saturday nights, February 8th and the 22nd. Win a share of $30,000 out at Riverwind tomorrow with live radio, nearly 3,000 electronic games. They have the very best selection of electronic games, all your favorite table games, 2 table game pits, 2 high-stakes areas, off-track betting, world-class poker room. They have it all. Great bars and dining, the Coupe Ale House Bar, River Buffet, Chips and Ales Pub Restaurant, and they also have a great food court as well and great shows coming in February. We still have shows on the way for Aaron Lewis and the Stayliners on a Friday night, February 21st, Ryan Bingham and the Texas Gentlemen, Saturday, February 22nd, and Gladys Knights on Friday, February 28th. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards always at Riverwind. And joining us right now on the Riverwind Casino hotline, our friend Brandon Rahbar, dailythunder.com, does a great job covering OKC. This news came out that Chet's back tomorrow night. Brandon, I'm thinking, man, maybe early March. I know he's working out a little bit. You've seen him out there, in the gym with the guys. He's not going full bore, but you're thinking, yeah, it's probably a month away or so, maybe 3 weeks. And Brandon, he's back. What do you think they're going to do with him? It is huge. And they haven't experimented with the iHeart Chet lineup yet. And now, Brandon, they have 39 games left where they can do that.
Yeah, that's what's so great. There's so much of the season still remaining. And like you, everybody, I think, thought that we were going to see Chet after the All-Star break. Big news that he's available tomorrow. He's back just like that. And, yeah, all this rest of the season to work out the chemistry and implement Chet along with Isaiah Hartenstein and how all this works. We haven't seen this Thunder team fully healthy. They have the best record in the NBA at 40 wins and 9 losses. You know, the old adage is you're a contender if you get 40 wins before 20 losses. Well, the Thunder have 40 wins before 10 losses.
Crazy.
And Chet Holmgren has been out for the majority of the season, and this is the team's second-best player. So, yeah, great news at the trade deadline. The biggest acquisition the Thunder could get is Chet Holmgren back healthy.
Yeah, let's talk about the trade deadline. We did, obviously, before the deadline, we get the big deal with Luka going to the Lakers, AD to the Mavs. Jimmy Butler headed to Golden State, the KD to Golden State. KD apparently said he didn't want to go back to Golden State. Anything else happened today? Is there any, look, the deadline comes at 2 o'clock, but that doesn't mean you're going to hear done deals by 2 o'clock. What are you anticipating anything else today?
Not really. No, I think that all the big moves, all the big names that were rumored to have moved, Jimmy Butler, De'Aaron Fox, and all these guys, they've been moved now. And, of course, the Luka AD thing came out of nowhere. But, like, Cam Johnson was a guy that was rumored a lot. He was the guy that, the Thunder's name was rumored with. I don't think that's going to happen. It looks like he's staying pat. So I think all the big moves are done. Maybe some fringe moves as we, right before the shot clock buzzer at 2 o'clock. But I think for the most part, it's done.
What about the Thunder's minor move yesterday? Is that, sometimes it's all about finding the right contracts and putting somebody in a deal and maybe clearing up a real roster spot, not a two-way, for A.J. Mitchell. What do you think is going on with that?
I still think that A.J. Mitchell is going to get a real standard contract at some point this season. The Thunder just liked him so much, and he looked so good earlier on in the season. I mean, he was a second-round rookie, and he was really, really impressive in his minutes. And I think the Thunder want to reward him, and they want to lock him up with a real contract. So I think that still happens. But the Daniel Tice trade, there are no more open roster spots. So will Tice be waived sometime in the future? I think they'll keep the options open. That was, I think, mostly about getting a second-round pick basically for free. The Thunder like this roster. The Thunder, as we said, best record in the NBA. They haven't been healthy all season. So I think that Daniel Tice could be a pretty nice break in case of emergency big, to have on the roster. He has some experience, just for insurance with injuries. Having another big on the roster makes sense, but also the option of maybe, waiving him later, and that'd be no big deal because they got the second rounder for free if they want to make another move.
All right, the way the rosters are shaking out now, and again, we had the gigantic earthquake trade between Dallas and the Lakers, and again, Jimmy Butler going to Golden State. That's interesting. Oklahoma City has a losing record against two teams, 1-3 against Dallas, 1-2 against Golden State. How do you think the Thunder stack up, with the new look Mavs and the new look Warriors, and who else catches your eye? Maybe that Oklahoma City can really contend with Oklahoma City in the postseason.
Yeah, I think that the Thunder have gotten much better because now they're healthy to go up against the Mavs, for instance, and the Mavs, on paper got worse. I mean, AD is a great player. He's a top 10 player. But swapping him out for Luka, I think that makes them less dynamic and less dangerous. So I really like the Thunder against the Mavs going forward. And, the Warriors, I know they get Jimmy Butler, but Andrew Wiggins was kind of a Thunder killer.
Yes.
And so, I don't know if Jimmy Butler can replicate that, even though he's a better player than Andrew Wiggins on paper, not against the Thunder. So I think that might be an upgrade for the Thunder's matchup in particular. The Warriors are better, but, I don't think they're a contender by any means. I think they're just good enough to try to squeak into the playoffs now.
What Shea is doing is unbelievable. 3 straight Wednesday night games against Utah, 54, against Golden State, 52, 50 last night against Phoenix. He's clearly the front runner for MVP. I would say Joker would be, about a half lap behind maybe at this point. But it's amazing what he's doing. So I think it would be a disappointment if he doesn't win MVP the way things are trending. But my question to you is, as a team, is Oklahoma City at the level now where if they don't win an NBA championship, it's a disappointment, or is it like not making it to the finals? What's the line you think that is the bottom line for Oklahoma City?
I think that winning the NBA championship should absolutely be the goal. They're the best team in the NBA this season by record, and they haven't been healthy, and they should be that much better. They were the number 1 seed in the West last season, so I think absolutely winning the finals for this team is the goal. But this is what I would say. This team is still incredibly young, one of the youngest teams in the NBA, and they're set up contract-wise and roster-wise to be a contender for many, many years. So even if they don't win it all this year, they should have many cracks at this going forward. So I would expect that internally the team, the goal is to win the championship. Fans' goal is to win the championship. But, man, if they don't, this is still one of the best teams moving forward for many years.
So does Chet start tomorrow night with like a minutes restriction? How do you think they're going to play that with him coming right back?
That is a big question.
Yeah.
The Thunder typically don't do minutes restrictions. They typically, once a guy is healthy, they treat him as if he's fully healthy. But this, to me, is a little bit different scenario because he's been out for so long and because he is such a big, important piece and because it was a pretty, serious injury. I kind of think that they'll pivot and do something different and do kind of like a minutes restriction, and we'll see if he starts or not. He's started every game he's ever played. We'll see if he comes off the bench or starts. I think that's a 50-50 thing. But I'm really curious to see if they play him on a back-to-back because, again, the Thunder, once guys are healthy, they treat them fully healthy. So big question marks with Chet over these next few weeks.
All right, before we let you go, kind of what a lot of fans thought when Oklahoma City drafted Chet Holmgren was, man, I love his talent. He's got a lot of skill for that size, but, man, he's frail. He's going to get pushed around. Looks like he could be bullied some inside. Could he be injury prone? And then he misses his rookie year. Then he comes back, has a great second year. Clearly, he's already I don't know if you call him maybe a minor star in the NBA, but the ceiling is so high for him. And then you had him trying to challenge the dunk. You want your shot blocker to do that, but maybe he's going to have to be more selective in those situations. What do you think? Was that just a freak deal the way he landed, or do you think there should be maybe a little bit of concern still from Thunder fans about Chet?
I do think it was a freak deal the way he landed, and really his foot injury was a freak deal too. And really he had, I know a lot of people, talk about him being frail, but the foot injury really had nothing to do with his frame or size or skinniness at all. And then this hip injury, this is so rare. There is not a case of any NBA player having this injury. Like, there was nothing to go off. Like, it usually does not happen to professional athletes. And I think it was just a freak deal the way he landed. And maybe if he had a little more, fat or muscle or something like that to cushion it. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know if that would have changed things. So I think Chet's going to play the way Chet plays, though. I think he only knows one gear, and it's 100%. So I expect him to play the same way and not to have that alter his gameplay style at all.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think, people are going to be kind of, oh, no, don't go for that, But he's a guy that I just can't wait to see how it meshes with that lineup with he and Ihart with Chet playing the 4, because the one thing, Ihart's been great. We knew he was a good passer. He's even a better passer than I thought he would be. So I like that. It's just going to be fascinating to see how it plays out. So we shall see. All right. By the way, any chance that Oklahoma City makes that deal for KD at the last minutes?
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that KD's staying in Phoenix, and I don't think a reunion with the Thunder's happening. The Thunder would have to gut the roster. They'd have to give up so much salary to make it happen. You'd have to see, contracts like Lou Dort, Isaiah Hartenstein, go in a trade like that to match the salary. And I don't think they want to give up the depth or ruin this chemistry, what they got going on right now.
That's our chat that wanted to ask the question right there. So, yes. And so KD warmed up last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then got booed when he left the court? Yeah. That's what I heard.
Yeah, he got booed when he left the court. Yeah, that's what happened. And I think that Thunder fans, for the most part still, it seems like now, whereas before it was like 99.9% boos for KD, I think it's now 70% boos, 30%, kind of like friendly applause. So there's been some cooling off. Time heals some wounds.
Yeah, I would say that Muleshoe is more despised than Katie right now. We'll see. But, yeah, one of the great nights in Thunder history, even though it was a tough night, but was his first return when they had the cupcake waiting for him outside the locker room. And, I mean, the vitriol in that building was, brutal, absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
But I always said that July 4th day was a gut punch. It was Oklahoma City's welcome to professional sports moment. First, it was kind of like the first girlfriend that you really liked. You're like your first girlfriend. This is great. And then you get broken up with and you think your life's over. That was kind of the feeling the Thunder fan base had, I think, in that situation. Hey, Brandon, you're the best, man. I appreciate you, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Mike.
Brandon Rahbar, DailyThunder.com. DailyThunder.com. How was your first breakup, Parker, and your first girlfriend? Did you do the breaking or did you get broken up on?
I did the breaking.
Oh, really? So you broke somebody's heart. See, I got my heart broken right off the bat.
I guess, technically.
I got punted a lot in grade school and junior high and high school. Yes. It was 4th and 40 with me quite a bit.
I guess.
Imagine that.
It's generally not mutual when people say it's mutual. Generally, that means they're the one that got the axe.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Do you consider this mutual? Because what happened was she was like, I think we need to take a break. And I just said, no, I think we're done.
Yeah.
So that's probably like the closest thing to mutual that there is.
What about
truly mutual?
Let's just be friends.
Yeah, no, that never really.
I don't. Back then, I'm like, I don't want to be friends. I ain't friends with girls. I like to, kiss and hug on them, and that's about it. All right. There's no friendship here.
Yeah, the whole let's just be friends thing never did work out with any of the girls I dated and then broke up with.
And that cheesy guy who pretends to be your friend. Oh, he's there for everything. Yeah, that's because he's waiting to make his move. All right. The dude's a snake. Girls don't believe that. He's just the best friend I have. He's so great. That dude is going to make a move, all right? I'm just telling you. It's going to happen. Get ready for it. There's no doubt. Okay. 405-651-3439 on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. We'll take a break right here. Come back. One more award-winning segment on the way next, right here on the home of Sooner fans.
A true Sooner fan wouldn't be caught dead without the KREF app. Join the Army. Get the app. Tell your friends. This is The Ref, where diehard Sooner fans listen. The Ref is the home of Sooner fans and the home of Sooner Diamond Sports this spring. From Patty Squad in search of another natty.
Lifted deep to left field. No way. No way. Lose your mind, Sooner Nation.
And Skip Sooner's sight set on Omaha.
Throw to first and you can ring it up. 6-4-3.
The Ref has you covered.
Catch Sooner softball and doubleheader action this Thursday night. Join in progress at 6 o'clock, then Game 2 at 8 p.m. on the Ref and the KREF app.
For 3 generations, the John M. Ireland and Son Funeral Home and Chapel in Morris continued to serve the community by giving back to local schools, charitable organizations, and first responders.
We provide pre-planning for funerals and cremation services at the most reasonable prices.
We are proud to be a family-owned and operated funeral home.
Award-winning funeral home year after year, our family believes in serving the people of our community.
I'm John Ireland.
And I'm Solon Daniels.
You've got our word on it.
Ready for some pickleball fun? Join us at the Y-Fac for pickleball every Tuesday from 8 to 11 a.m. and Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. Grab your friends and hit the courts for a lively morning or evening game. If water fitness is your pleasure, Aqua Zuma classes are every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Go online at yfac.com to learn more about day passes and memberships.
Hello, Norman. This is Mayor Larry Heigela. I'm honored to have the endorsement of our brave firefighters and dedicated police officers. Their trust in my leadership reflects our shared commitment to keeping our community safe and thriving. Let's work towards solutions that ensure a safer, more prosperous future for all.
Hi, I'm Barry Switzer. I'm supporting Larry again for mayor. Vote for Larry on February the 11th. We need him again, I promise you.
Paid for and authorized by Mayor Heikela 2025 and endorsed by Fire and Police.
Are you, your family, or company looking for a locally owned and trusted management group? Carlsbad Management Group is an owner, developer, and manager of high-quality apartment communities in Oklahoma. They are a locally owned and operated management company for apartments and self-storage units. They are committed to providing exceptional apartment homes, customer service, and increasing the value of multi-family communities under our management. If you would like a free management quote today, call Carlsbad Management at 405-701-1411 and be part of the Carlsbad family.
Mama, what does the chicken say? Dog. Cat. Giraffe.
Giraffe, really? Giraffe.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right.
Visit NHTSA.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The world is full of anchors, meant to keep you in place. But the good news is that it's also full of things that remind you not to let them. So every time you raise a Pacifico, let it be a reminder to live life anchors up.
Smokey the Bear.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
What you desire, don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com, and remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Want to thank our friends at Riverwind. They are the best. We'll see Justin Reed, Alicia, Hera, the whole crew, Christy out there tomorrow. Ready to get, you know what I want to do? Ladies and gentlemen, this old man got in the production room where magic happens. Kind of like Phil Spector without the murder. And Brian Wilson without spending 3 years in bed when they did, The Wall of Sound and Pet Sounds. And this, without copyrighted music, is the cool, super hip happening OU softball opener, Parker Thune, that we want to play for the masses. We think it's hip, it's happening, it is the best.
Patty freaking gas.
O is the
damn goat.
Let's get this mother crock! Yeah!
Let's go, baby boomer!
Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to hear any better production value than that. Nothing more up-to-date and current than that OU softball opener. Right there. Maybe Plank can lead with that. Let's get this baby crunk line when he opens up the mic before the first pitch. What do you think?
It can be like the Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott quote. Let's get this baby crunk. Lil Jon, Mike Steely.
Wayne Gretzky, have you seen him in that commercial with, what's the
I have not, no.
What's the actress's name? She, in the Discover commercials?
Oh, Discover, hang on.
I think she calls him Wayne Jetski or something like that.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
It's I haven't seen Wayne Gretzky in a commercial in a while, but he's back in a commercial. You'll see it soon enough.
You got to be old these days to know who Wayne Gretzky is when you see him.
The greatest, right? Those Edmonton teams. I mean, he was by hockey standards smallish, but they protected that dude, man. You got to have a couple goons. Hockey still have a lot of goons. The goons,
hockey is pretty much all goons.
You need goons. You ever had a goon on your side?
I can't say that goons have ever been a part of my entourage.
What about the OU football team? You think there's a goon over there?
There are at least a few goons in that locker room.
Hey, Blake had a question. if EPL's name was not Eddie Pierre Louis and was like Wayne Johnson or something, would the hype be the same? Well,
there would
that's
still
too
be
close
hype.
to
It
The
wouldn't be
Rock.
quite the same.
Yeah.
Everything about EPL is just cool. The name, the glasses, the athleticism, the bulk, the girth.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about EPL is cool.
The glasses. Now, don't tell me he got like laser vision or, LASIK or whatever. Now, Dr. Bilardo would be a great, but he needs to at least wear those glasses as well. Because to me, they're extremely intimidating. One of my favorite, when you see all the high school videos, you're like, all right, here's another high school video, whatever. But when you see him running in track and field, that's one that I had to watch probably 10 times or so. Like, really? That's EPL? Wasn't it in the 100 finals or something that he was running? It was a sprint.
He was running the 100 meters,
Yeah.
yes.
That dude he was moving. I think he was in fourth place, but I'm like, there's no way that dude can move that fast, and he did. All right, 405-6. Doug Lawrence of the Tulsa Ice Oilers back in the day. Yeah, who was it? Bruce Shoebottom? Yeah, Dougie Lawrence.
Shoebottom?
Bruce Shoebottom. They got into a rumble there. It was really ugly. There's some goonery involved.
I'm just going to give you a heads up, Steely.
Yes.
These days, the word goonery has another meaning.
What?
Yes.
What is
Don't
it?
Urban Dictionary that one either.
Oh, my gosh. See? There was goon activity. How's that?
Not any better. Not any better.
All right.
You
am
probably...
Am I going to get fired over this?
No, you're not going to get fired
All
over
right.
this.
Yay, Merry Christmas. Some of these morons came up with this, right? There was some... So you can't even say hockey goon, right?
I mean, you can.
Okay.
You can get away with that.
I
The
remember-
word goonery, though, probably don't want to go there.
Okay. Oh, my. Did y'all hear Steely today? What he said?
Jay in Tulsa says, Parker, I'm not sure bulk and girth should be in your browsing history. Listen, those are two regular adjectives.
You can find those on the Mountain West Wet Network.
Oh,
wet work.
If we can't use bulk and girth anymore because y'all are too tawdry not to see it as ambiguous, then we've lost our way as a society.
Oh, we've lost our way as a society. We're gone. Like I said, the four horsemen of the apocalypse, they're saddling up. They take them a while to get here, but they're coming. We have always known they're coming, but they're on their way. They look at this society like, these people are idiots. I mean, just morons.
Mr. 405 would like career advice.
Okay.
Mr. 405 says, as a 23-year-old college graduate who works outside of radio full-time but has worked in play-by-play for 4.5 years, any advice for sticking to radio until it pays off to where I can do it as my full-time job?
I mean, look, you got to get the breaks, but it's amazing that you get more breaks when you work hard. Always give it, everything you have. Don't you? I mean, there are going to be some days where you're going to feel like, man, I don't feel like doing the prep work or trying to find some sound we can react to. There are going to be days like that, but you got to push through and keep working on your craft, man. That's what I would say. It's a business that weeds out a lot of people. Well, unless you just want to, get your own freaking, Twitter space or whatever, they'll let anybody do it now, which is fun. That's fine. But I will tell you the standards have been lowered as well, in my opinion, because of social media, and, and I know, well, Steely, you're older. Okay, I get it. But I just think it's gotten worse. Don't you, Parker? I mean,
significantly, yes.
Yes. And look, I've been around this for a long time, and I think I know how things work, and I'm telling you that a lot of these people who are getting the attention now would never have been hired. And you can say, well, at least they got their own break and they made it. But the problem I have is the standards keep getting lower and lower and lower. And I'm talking about broadcast journalism, and can make a mistake, and there's always the narrative out there, the legacy media is done or whatever. Okay. I will say this, I do believe there has been a left, most of the journalists when I was growing up had a left slant to them because they graduated from those universities a lot of the time. But it's also swung back the other way with Fox News and other stuff. But there are still good journalists out there. The people who are telling you that you're the media now, and want you to believe Billy Bob over a respected journalist, the reason they are telling you that is they want you to be stupid so they continue taking their money. Your money. I'm not, whether you're Democrat or Republican, I'm neither, I promise you. I'm probably 70% conservative, 30% on the other side. I don't like to have people tell me what I should think, and it all should be on one tray. I'm a little bit a la carte. But when I hear that, I think that's dangerous because a free press, people who get criticized, is essential to a democracy. And to think that, yeah, you should believe Billy Bob, he's got all the sources over somebody who's a respected journalist. They're telling you that because they want you to be dumb. So they continue getting in your wallet, getting in your bank account, and taking more of your money. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel very strongly about that. And like I said, I'm not supporting either party. I think they're all crooks, pretty much. So anyway, that's it. But when I see that, and I think, you people, if you lose a free press, you talk about the feces hitting the fan and coming through a tin horn, that's when it's going to happen. I mean, if you want North Korea or somewhere where you get government TV and you're all... anyway, I didn't mean to get off, but that's one of the things that angers me is when I see these people, I'm going to believe this guy who's totally got one side over a journalist. Are there one-sided journalists who've made mistakes and supported something and not been very good? Yes, absolutely. But there are those in any profession. But a free press is essential. Because if we lose that, we're already probably, we're circling the drain already, pretty much. But we're going completely down the drain without that.
Brian from Maryland says, thank you, Steely. I'd like to subscribe to your newsletter.
I don't like that, but that's the one thing I see that gets me angry today when I see that. It's like, folks, I wouldn't believe a politician from either side if my life depended on it. There's no chance in hell. Now, you can see who the real grifters are, but there's no way. I mean, John Thune, I'm sure, is a fine man. And a fine uncle. And a good family man. But I'm just saying, any politician, unless they're on the very local level, I don't believe a word they say. That's just me. Okay, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. 405-651-3439. 405-651-3439. And you can also hit us up on the YouTube chat. Have we closed the poll yet? Final results, ladies and gentlemen, from Blake Gamble are on the way from the, what was the firm who handles the NBA draft? It's the famous firm. What is it? I can't remember.
It's not. Is it Deloitte?
Deloitte, I believe, is the one now, but it used to be another one. But this is from the Gamble Enterprises, who runs the poll. And the final, should the Sooners still be favored to win the Natty in softball, even though they're ranked third in the preseason? The final results, 76% say yes, no, 23%. So there you go. Yeah, I don't care which hand. That's your pride. I'm not picking sides because I think they're both horrible. I'm just saying, when I see that stuff, that's when I get angry. Now,
Jimmy and Duncan on the text line says, can we get back to sports, please? Maybe if I tune into Fox News, I'll hear some sports talk.
Talk some sports, guy. I didn't mean to get off on that tangent, but that is the one thing when I see that on social media, that's when the steam comes out of my ears. It's like, I don't believe that BS. All right. Les, I agree with you. Jody Jody, I am. See, I have no idea, Jody, what that is. You know, I'm somewhat out of touch, and all these kids, they make up these phrases. You know why? The respectable humans that are my age, who are responsible, great people, would not do anything like that, for the most part. Vegas has me at now fired by 63 as a pick'em. So we'll see. I thought that was a fun little twist on the word goon. That's all I was thinking. That's it. And, you know, that's going to be the end. They're going to be coming to take me away. Sir, you are tawdry, and reciting something from the Urban Dictionary will get you to Guantanamo. That's where I'm going to go, Guantanamo. A little vacation there. Golly. Okay, we got to get out of here, folks. I want to thank our friends at Hightower Clinical trial opportunities, the very best. HightowerClinical.com. Check them out online or call 405-831-5905. Tomorrow, we're going to party up as we do on Fridays at Riverwind Casino. See some of you out there. We may have some concert tickets to give away, all right? Everybody have a great rest of your Thursday. Appreciate you guys and ladies very much. And again, tomorrow out at Riverwind, Locked In's coming up next.